Ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Today we are celebrating 10 solid years of marriage, 10 years, 3 children, and countless arguments about whose turn it is to wash plates. But before you clap for me, let me confess, if you had seen my life before I met my wife, you would have sworn marriage was not in my destiny at all. My name is Chima, a Catholic boy to the bone. I grew up in Lagos with my uncle, while my parents stayed back in the village. Lagos shaped me, but women nearly finished me there. I don't know if I carried use me and dump me on my forehead, but I was like the national project of heartbreak. The first girl that dealt with me was Sandra. Fine babe, eyelashes like ceiling fan. I gathered all my NYSC LAWE and gave her because she said she wanted to start a hair business. 2 weeks later, Sandra disappeared. Not only with my money, but also with another man's iPhone. Till today, anytime I pass wig sellers in Balogan Market, I feel chest tightness. The second girl was Sister Joy from our parish youth fellowship. She wore a skirt that nearly swept the ground, and I said, this one must be Angel. Every Sunday after benediction, I would buy her suya and malt. I thought I was sowing a seed of love. My brother, unknown to me, she was already harvesting cassava with my best friend Tunde. The day I found out, I almost reported both of them to our parish priest for combined confession. Then came Amaka, my neighbor's daughter. That one nearly finished me. Every evening she would invade my room. Chima, do you have rice? Do you have fish? Do you have Maggi? Like a fool in love, I fed her nonstop. The day she finally agreed to follow me to ShopRite, I thought my suffering had ended. Instead, she loaded my shopping cart with provisions, cornflakes, milk, tinned tomatoes, as if she was restocking her mother's shop. By the time we reached the counter, my ATM card almost burst into tears. After eating my food for months and emptying my bank account in one afternoon, she still told me, Uncle Chima, you don't know how to toast women. That was when I realized even Amaka was not wife material, but market material. At that point, I told myself, enough! Women are not my calling. I was ready to enter seminary and start practicing rosary full-time. But then, just when I gave up, destiny smiled. And that was the day I met the woman who later became my wife. After those 3 disasters, I swore women and I had signed permanent divorce. I told myself, Chima, face your Catholic faith, join Legion of Mary, carry incense. At least holy things won't break your heart. But as God will have it, the day I met my wife, all my vows of celibacy scattered like puff inside hot oil. It was on an ordinary Saturday afternoon. I was on my way to CMS Market, planning to buy secondhand shoes because the sole of the one I was wearing had already started preaching, repent. As I was pricing one stubborn shoe, I looked up and saw her. When I say saw her, I mean heaven opened, trumpet blew, and angels whispered, this is she. She was standing at a stall, pricing vegetables with the seller. No makeup, just simple Ankara gown and natural hair tied with scarf. But her smile? That smile could melt a jeggy bread straight from the oven. I gathered courage and said, excuse me, sister, please, is this where they sell fresh ugu leaves? She turned, looked at me, and answered in the sweetest voice, yes, but they're trying to cheat me. Maybe you should help me price it. That was the beginning. From there, we walked together, bought foodstuff together, and before I knew it, I was carrying her bag like Joseph the carpenter. We sat at a buka afterwards to eat amala and ewedu. While I was busy drinking cold Pepsi to calm my nerves, she casually asked, by the way, where are you from? I said, Anambra. She screamed, what? I'm also from Anambra. My brain nearly exploded. 2 strangers meeting in Lagos Market from the same place? I was already composing wedding hymns in my head. But destiny wasn't done shocking me. She told me her mother was the president of the Anglican Women Organization in our village. I smiled proudly and replied, wow, that's great. My own mother is the president of the Catholic Women Organization. Both of us laughed and said, our mothers must know each other. If only we knew. If only we knew. Love is sweet until you enter village with it. After weeks of calling and talking till midnight, I finally told her, babe, this thing is serious. I want to see your parents. She smiled, blushed, and said, are you sure you're ready? I replied, ready, Key? I was born ready. My confidence that day was louder than generator. So one December, I dressed well. New senator outfit, shiny shoe, wine in one hand, biscuits in the other. I drove straight to her father's compound, whistling Anya Nwem like Broom already. The moment I entered, I greeted respectfully, good afternoon, sir. Her father looked at me from head to toe like customs officer inspecting contraband. Before I could present my wine, the man jumped up with energy that did not match his age. He shouted, "So you are the son of that family?" Before I could decode, this man dashed inside, came out with a machete shining like morning sun. I thought it was joke. Next thing I knew, he lifted wrapper, tied it firm, and started pursuing me round the compound. Fear turned me into Olympic sprinter. I jumped goat, dodged chicken, even pushed one poor bench out of my way. The old man was behind me shouting, "Tufia, you can never marry my daughter." Sweat drenched me like borehole pipe burst. And in that hot chase, I forgot I came with a car. My small Corolla was parked proudly in his compound while I was busy running for my destiny. I didn't even know how I escaped the gate. All I know is I found myself outside, panting, shirt half tucked, wrapper dust on my shoes. Villagers were watching and laughing. One woman even shouted, "Chima, well done, oh, you try pass Usain Bolt." That night, I had to sneak back like thief just to retrieve my car. I tiptoed inside the compound at 11 p.m., entered my car, and rolled it out without starting the engine until I was far. It was the most humiliating getaway mission of my life. And yet, despite the machete trauma, I still loved that girl. In fact, after the chase, my feelings grew stronger. Love Namumu indeed. After the machete incident, I thought my own parents would be the calm, welcoming ones. I told her, "Don't mind my future father-in-law. He doesn't know what he's doing. Come and meet my people. My mother is a saint. She will hug you, cook for you, and call you our wife immediately." She agreed. She dressed well, wore a simple gown, tied her hair neat, and even bought small fruit basket to show respect. As we entered my father's compound, I was whistling confidently, chest out like peacock. I went straight to my mum's room and said, "Mummy, I've brought someone special for you to meet." She came out smiling. "Ah, Chima, who is this beautiful lady?" My heart melted. See love, see acceptance. I thought angels had finally balanced my destiny. But that happiness lasted only 30 seconds. The moment my mum asked her surname and heard it, her entire face changed. She dropped her rosary, hissed loudly, and shouted, "Jesu Maria, so it is this family you want to bring into my house? Tufiakwa." Before I could beg, my sweet Catholic mother transformed into World Wrestling Federation champion. She didn't even bother with wrapper adjustment. She grabbed the nearest weapon of mass destruction, one long broom leaning by the wall. "My son, so you want to disgrace me in this village? Over my dead body!" she screamed, then launched the broom like spear towards my innocent babe. The drama was plenty. My girlfriend dodged left, ducked right, ran round our parlor like it was sports festival. At one point, the broom even hooked her wig and flung it under the dining table. She was shouting, "Chima, Chima, do something!" But me too. I was confused. How can you stand between lioness and her prey? At last, the poor girl escaped barefoot, leaving her fine shoes behind. Neighbors gathered outside, laughing and asking, "Chima, is this how you bring wife?" I just stood there, holding her abandoned shoe like Cinderella story gone wrong. That day, I realized love truly requires endurance. My father-in-law had chased me with machete. My mother had chased my future wife with broom. This was no longer romance. This was Olympics, men's and women's categories combined. Now let me tell you the origin of this everlasting quarrel that almost scattered my love story. It didn't start today. My father and my wife's father were village enemies from way back. According to Family Gist, in the 1970s, they both contested for youth leader position in the village. My father won, but her father claimed my father rigged it with 2 cartons of gulder. Since then, the 2 men vowed never to agree on anything again. If my father said, "Good morning," her father would reply, "Over my dead body, it is evening." As if that was not enough, my mum and her mum also carried the fight into holy ground. My mum became president of the Catholic Women Organization, while her mum became president of the Anglican Women Organization. Instead of leading women to Christ, they turned it into political campaign. At Harvest Bazaar, if Anglican women bought 1 goat, Catholic women would buy 2 cows. If Catholic women decorated altar with white lace, Anglican women would bring imported Italian cloth. Competition became warfare. So you see, when I innocently loved their daughter, I was touching raw wound. I was the Romeo that didn't know Juliet's family had ancestral grudge with mine. The matter grew so bad that her elder brother once told me, "Guy, if you marry my sister, I will never attend the wedding." And my own younger sister warned me, "Chima, if Mummy doesn't faint that day, it means God is really alive." Everybody was picking side as if it was election. But love refused to die. Finally, it took our parish priest, Father Emmanuel, and their Anglican pastor, Reverend Okonkwo, to settle the quarrel. The two holy men called both families to a joint peace meeting. At first, my father and her father almost turned it into wrestling, pointing fingers, raising voices. But when Reverend Okonkwo said, "Even Peter and Paul quarreled in the Bible," and Father Emmanuel added, "And Jesus told us to forgive 70 times 7, both old men kept quiet. Then something funny happened. My mum and her mum started competing even in apology. My mum said, "Okay, let's forgive them first." Her mum replied, "No, we will forgive you first." The priest just raised hands and declared, "Peace has come." And that was it. They shook hands, hugged reluctantly, and the next thing, wedding bells started ringing. Today, 10 years later, with 3 children running around my house like Nipa wires, I look back and laugh. My father-in-law chased me with Machete. My mother chased my wife with Broom. Yet here we are, happy, united, and stronger. Love, my people, is truly the greatest miracle. But between us, if you want to marry, please check family history first before you find yourself running relay race in your in-laws' compound.